Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Easy CBSE. I'm Neha Paryani and today we will learn about real, personal and nominal rules of accounting, also known as golden rules of accounting. So let's start. Okay, so in order to understand the rules of accounting, you need to understand how these accounts are classified into. So, in a business transaction, for maintaining the financial records of a business transaction, various kinds of accounts are prepared. So, let's try to understand how these accounts can be classified. So accounts can be classified into personal accounts and impersonal accounts. Impersonal accounts are further classified into real accounts and nominal accounts. For all these rules, there are certain debit and credit rules. They are also known as golden rules or basic rules of accounting. So without learning these rules or without knowing these rules, you cannot record any transaction. So let us try to understand these accounts and their rules in detail. The first is personal account. These are the accounts which are related to persons, institutions or companies. So institutions and companies are also treated as artificial persons, right? Because they have their separate legal entity, they have their own name, they have their own brand, they are recognized by their name. So institutions and companies are also treated as persons or artificial persons in accounts. So the examples for personal accounts are bank accounts. Bank is also an institution, right? So it is a personal account. It is a type of personal account. Creditors account. Creditors are persons. Debtors account. Debtors are also persons. Drawings account. Drawings are made by the owner of the company, right? Owner is a person. Hence it comes under the personal accounts. These are few examples for personal account. So let's have a look at the rules of personal accounts. So what the personal account rule says, it says that debit the receiver, means the person who is the receiver, his account will be debited, and credit the giver. The person who is the giver, his account will be credited. So we all know that for every transaction there are two aspects, right? Dual aspect. So if one is the receiver, the other is the giver. So if receiver is debit, the giver has to be the credit. So let us try to understand this rule with an example. So the transaction is that paid Shanu Private Limited rupees 16,000 by check. So here the two accounts are, one is Shanu Private Limited because it is artificial person, and the other is, so here we are making the payment by check, right? So when Shanu Private Limited goes and deposits this check into the bank, who will give the money to Shanu Private Limited? Bank, right? So the other account is bank. So let's write down. One account is Shanu Private Limited and the other account is bank account. So here we are making the payment to Shanu Private Limited, right? So who is the receiver? Who is the receiver here? Shanu is the receiver. First of all, he is a person, right? Shanu Private Limited is an artificial person. It is any company. Hence, it is a personal account. Personal account. And he is the receiver. Shanu Private Limited is receiving rupees 16,000 from us. So he is the receiver. So what the rule says, the person who is the receiver, we have to debit it. So this will be debited. And bank is also a person, right? Artificial person. It is an institution. Hence it is also personal account. The rule for personal account says that credit the giver. So bank is giving money to Shanu Private Limited. Hence the bank is the giver. So we have to credit it. I hope now you understand the rule for personal account. Now let's move on to real account. What are real accounts? Real accounts deals with tangible and intangible assets of a firm. So what are these tangible and intangible assets? One thing you need to remember that real accounts deals with all kind of assets. So let's try to understand the meaning of tangible assets. Tangible assets are the assets which can be seen, touched and felt physically, which means that we can see them, we can touch them and we can feel them physically. They have physical existence. Examples for tangible assets are buildings. Buildings, we can see them, right? We can touch them. Machinery, stock, land, these all are the example for tangible assets. So buildings account, machinery account, stock account, land account, all these accounts will come under real account. Next are intangible assets. So intangible assets are those assets which are not seen, touched and felt physically. So tangible assets means we can see them, we can touch them, feel them, right? Intangible asset means they does not have any physical existence. They cannot be seen, touched or felt. Examples for tangible assets are goodwill account and patents account. So goodwill means, in simple terms, goodwill you can call it as it is something which shows the reputation of a company. And patents means, suppose you have made any invention, you will get the sole right over that thing. That is known as patents. Patents are legal rights given by the law. So these are the examples for intangible assets. So now let us know the rule for real account. The real account rule says that debit what comes in and credit what goes out. If something is coming into the organization, that will be debited, and when something is going out, that will be credited. So let us try to know this by an example. So the example is purchased machinery for rupees 8,000 in cash. So in this transaction, which are the two accounts? The first is machinery account and the other is cash account, right? So here machinery account and cash account. So machinery is an asset, right? It is a tangible asset. Cash is also an asset. It is a tangible asset. So it comes under real account. Cash also comes under real account. So we are purchasing the machinery, right? So machinery is coming in. It comes in. Machinery is coming into our organization. So it will be debited. As per the rule, what comes in? Debited. So machinery is coming in, it is debited. Cash account. It is also real account. So when you purchase machinery for 8,000 in cash, cash is going out, right? So what the rule says, what goes out? Credit it. So it is going out. It goes out. So that will be credited. Let's try to understand this with another example. Here, sold goods for rupees 2,000 on cash. So in the above example, a particular good, that is machinery, we are purchasing machinery, a definite thing is given. So we have used here as machinery account. But in this transaction, it is not certain that what kind of goods we are purchasing. Hence here the account will be sales account and cash account. So sales account and cash account. So here we are making the sales. It is a real account. Sales of stock, we maintain certain stock, we are selling it. So stock is also an asset, right? Current asset. So it comes under real account. Cash is also an current asset. It is also real account. So goods are going out, right? So we are doing the sales. Sales means goods are going out. So it goes out. And cash is coming in, right? When we are making sales, the customer is giving us cash of rupees 2,000. So it is coming in. So it comes in. So this will be debited because cash is coming in, this will be debited, and sales, goods are going out, hence this will be credited. So always remember, when you make an entry, the debit part or the debit account should be upside and the credit account should be downside. So the entry for this will be, the journal entry for this will be cash account debit rupees 2000 to sales account 2000. So remember one thing, you cannot write the credit account on top. You have to write the debit account first, then you have to credit it. So this is the rule. Next is nominal accounts. So accounts related to expenses, losses, incomes or gains are called nominal accounts. So if there are any expenses, losses or incomes or gains in the company, those accounts will be known as nominal accounts. The examples for nominal accounts will be salaries account, interest account, profit on sale of asset account, loss on sale of asset account. So salaries is an expense, right? We have to make payment of salaries to our official staff, right? So it is an expense. Interest, if we are receiving the interest, that will be the income. If we are giving any interest to other persons, that will be the expense, right? So profit on sale of asset. So if you sell any asset of your company and if you get profit on by selling it, that will be termed as gain. So here you need to remember one thing, the difference between the gain and the income is that income is regular to our organization, whereas gains are not regular to our organization. Next, loss on sale of asset. In the same way, when you make the sales of an asset, if you get any loss, that will also be nominal account. So, rule for nominal account. The nominal account rule says that debit all expenses and losses. If there are any expenses and losses, they will be debited, and credit all incomes and gains. All incomes and gains will be credited. So let's try to understand this with an example. First is salaries paid to staff rupees 22,000. Salaries, here the two accounts are salaries and we are paying 22,000 to staff. That means we are paying cash. We are making cash payments. So the two accounts will be salaries account and cash account. So salaries comes under nominal account because they are the expenses. So these are nominal accounts. Whereas cash, it is an asset. So it comes under real account. Right? So next, nominal account, what it says, all expenses are debited. Expenses or losses. Salaries is an expense. So that will be, it is an expense. So that will be debited. Cash, when you are making the payment to your staff, cash is going out, right? So what the real account rule says that it debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So here cash is going out. So it goes out. So that will be credited. Next is discount received rupees 400. So here the two accounts will be discount account and cash account. So discount account and cash account. So here the transaction says that discount received rupees 400, but here we are not receiving any cash physically. So here we are making the less payment. So suppose if the selling price of a product is 5,000 and we are paying it for 4,600. So 400 will be the discount received or discount earned. So here you can treat the discount as a gain. So gain comes under nominal account. Nominal account. So what the rule says, the nominal account rule says that credit all incomes and gains. So it is discount is a gain. The discount received is a gain. Hence it will be credited. Whereas cash is an real asset, real account. So we are assuming that cash is coming in. So cash comes in. So the rule of real account says that debit what comes in. So this will be debited. So this was about the types of accounts and their rules. So if you clearly understand these rules, you can record any transactions easily. Okay guys, so this was all about the golden rules of accounting. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button down. You can ask me any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for more such videos. We'll see you in my next video. Till that, happy learning.